And so it begins. For the 12th annual time, it is the season of celebration, a celebration that seeks grits and guts, a celebration that showcases perseverance and persistence, and a celebration that culminates with joy and jubilation. This is the 12th annual edition of the Udaan Business Leadership Quiz, organized by Steel Authority of India Limited, National HRD Network Ranchi Chapter, and National HRD Network. Brought to you in association with our sponsor, IILM University. Taking you through it is me, your host, Ajay Poonia. And while Udaan has carved a niche in the heart and minds of the finest of quizzers from across India, some of whom you will see in action today, the 2022 season is kind of a personal milestone for me. I complete a decade of asking questions and extracting answers from participants at Udaan. So here's a quick glimpse of my journey over the years that I've been so privileged to undertake with all of you. With some new faces and some venerable ones, the new season of Udaan rises in the East. I'll begin with introducing and welcoming our participants for the East Zone final. As participant one of three new faces is Divyadas from Sale Route. As participant two, a familiar one from the East, looking to complete a hat trick of wins from the zone, is Rabi Sankar Saha from Capgemini. Joining him as participant number three is our second of three new faces, is Abhishek Mishra from Sale Rourkela. As participant four, a multiple-time national champion, but the last title coming back in 2017, it's a deja vu for the introduction, and I suspect he would be hoping for a new introduction from me next time around, a one that includes defending and champion placed adjacently. This is Sampad Mishra from Sale Rourkela. As participant five, he's been on the podium repeatedly when Udaan was a summer affair at the Sale MTI auditorium, but online the qualification eluded him until now. Please welcome Deepak Taneja from Indian Oil. And finally, a regular at the national quizzing circuit, but for some reason, Udaan has been a kind of a personal Achilles heel for him. First time in the zonal finals. Our last of the six today is Anand Kumar from Sale Durgapur. Welcome all of you. No surprises that the East Zone is dominated by the various establishments of Sale. It has become a routine affair now, but challenging Sale's dominance are two stout competitors from Capgemini and Indian Oil. Before I begin grilling our participants with questions, I'd like to welcome the two pillars of Udaan. Firstly, Shri Atanu Mukherjee, GM in charge academics and acting CGM HRD MTI Sale. Sir, pleased to have you with us. If you may please address all of us.
Thank you, Poonia Sahab, Mr. Ajay Poonia Sahab, and good evening to all the participants of East Zonal Final of Udaan 2022, and also the Quizmaster Sri Ajay Poonia, and the President of NHRD Ranchi Chapter, Dr. Kamakshi Raman Madam, and the representative from other NHRD network and the team MTI. It is indeed a great privilege for me to address the budding quizzer who have reached here after a grilling 2 rounds of prelims. There are many who could not make it to the zonal final, so my congratulations to you for this commendable performance. Quizzing, as you know, that it is a powerful medium for self-learning and promoting the learning culture in the organization. I must congratulate the Quizmaster and Rijwan Saab and the team MTI and all those persons associated for their sustained effort, which has established Udaan as a brand for quizzing. With this, I would urge all the finalists to display the finest quality of quizzing in the zonal finals and make a statement for the national final. All our best wishes to you all. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much there, sir. And now, may I request Dr. Kamakshi Raman, Executive Director, Indian Institute of Coal Management, and also President, National HRD Network, Ranchi Chapter. Ma'am, the stage is yours.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening to all of you.
Good evening, ma'am.
A very good evening to all of you, and congratulations to all the finalists, the East Zone finalists, who have done a great performance in the preliminary round. And as was introduced by Atanuda, this is the 12th year of Udaan, and the Udaan team led by Atanuda at MTI, and of course our Quizmaster Ajay Poonia have been doing a wonderful job of keeping the flock together and a most awaited quizzing event of the country. I'm really proud to see all of you doing very well and repeatedly getting this awards. And of course, quizzing is a very, very powerful self-development tool for learning, tool for great learning culture in any organization. And of course, you get to learn so much about the business scenario, and for taking up leadership positions, this always becomes a very important platform. My compliments to the entire Udaan team, Ajay Poonia, Quizmaster, Animesh Matre, platform designer, team from HRD Network, Dhananjay, Nalin and Avinash, and of course, the MTI team led by Atanuda, Rijwan, Rajesh, Sneha, Vishwajit and Chandranath. All of you have been really working very hard to take Udaan to greater heights. I'm sure all of you as quizzers must be very excited to be taking part in the 12th round of Udaan. My best wishes to all of you finalists. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, ma'am. So participants, with words of encouragement there for you, if you're all set, your objective today is to be amongst the top 2. For 2 of you, get a spot in the national final. But of course, the fact that you're here in the zonal round, you will collect at least rupees 5,000 prize. But if you count yourself as the winner or the first runner-up at the end of today's competition, from this zone, you will be rewarded with rupees 25,000 and rupees 15,000 respectively. There's big prizes, and if you are looking for a hint of inspiration, look no further than last night's triumph at FIFA World Cup by Japan and Morocco, both of them coming up trumps over 2 traditional European powerhouses. And of course, for the audience, we'll keep a parallel audience quiz going along. All you have to do is follow the instructions that you see on screen. On Twitter, first you'll have to follow National HRD Network @NHRDN. Listen to the audience question after every round. Reply with your answer to National HRD Network @NHRDN on the same tweeted question that I will be asking. It'll also be tweeted from the account, along with the hashtag Udaan 2022. Please remember, it must include hashtag Udaan 2022. And of course, there are prizes. There's a gift voucher for the winner. Who's the winner? The one with the fastest correct answer. As simple as that. No twists and turns. Straight up, give the right answer, be the first one to do that. Right, so I hope the audience will play along. There's some prizes for the audience too, apart from, of course, the participants who will win some prizes and will give their best attempt at qualification for the 2 national final spots. Right then, the stage is set. The audience is arranged. It's the participants that need to perform 4 rounds between you and the 2 national final spots. Let's march to round 1. Round 1 is going to be a crossword, and I'll be playing 5 questions with you. It's all on the buzzer. In a crossword, you'll have 15 seconds of time after I'm done reading the question, by which you must hit the buzzer. You can hit the buzzer the moment question appears on screen. You'll have 3 buzzers across the 6 participants. If you're the first on the buzzer, 10 points if you're right. Second on the buzzer, 7 if you're right. Third on the buzzer, 4 if you're correct. There's a flat -5 for a wrong answer. The fact that it's on in a crossword means that as we play along, we'll have a few alphabets also revealed to help you out. So we'll start on an easier note, kind of increase the challenge as we go along, because a competition like this, the magnitude of the event certainly calls for it. So for now, we'll start with the crossword. Let me show you what the crossword is that needs to be solved. So that's the crossword. We will play it in order. We'll go to 1 across, 2 down, 3 down, 4 down, and then 5 across. If you are all set, we are all set as well. Let's begin. First question of the East Zone final on your screen. It's a 5-letter answer. My question is, the weapon that you see in the middle is seen in Hindu, Buddhist, and Jain traditions and lends its name to the howitzer that you see on the left, manufactured by L&T Defense at Hazira for the Indian Army, and also to this yoga asana that you see on the right. My question is, what word is common to them? On the buzzer first is Abhishek. Yes, Abhishek?
Vajra.
Is correct. That's the answer that I was looking for. The Vajra of Indra, lending its name to the K9 Vajra howitzer. It's a good answer there. Abhishek, you begin this quiz with the very first points of this year's edition, and that is 10. Complete 10 for you. That's well done. We'll move on to the next one, but first we'll place Vajra in the crossword. We go to A down. So the A of Vajra. We'll play A down. So it obviously is an answer that starts with the letter A. Here's my question. These are costumes sold on Etsy for cosplay of which viral sensation that saw a lot of streamers making it popular during the lockdown era and had its VR game launched last month as well? On the buzzer is Sampad from Sailor Killa.
Yeah, Among Us.
Is correct. That's the answer. Weren't too confident there, but doesn't matter. It's not a test of confidence. It is a test of just extracting answers from you. You got this one right, and that gets you 10 points. That's well done. 2 of you scoring 10 points each on the first 2 questions. This one goes to Sampad. Right, 2 done. 3 more to go in this one. Let me place Among Us in the crossword. Now we go to 3 down. Here's my question. Last month, when a certain company fired all its employees from a Latin American country, effectively shutting down the company's operations there, the governing party's spokesperson regretted the layoffs while also calling them the fact that they were snakes is undeniable in the very same tweet. Which company is this? On the buzzer is Abhishek. Yes, Abhishek.
Twitter.
Is correct. That's the answer. Also on the same tweet. So this was in Mexico. So he said that undeniably they were all snakes. We all are aware that Elon is on a tear, firing 90% of Indian staff, and over various reports. Some of the reports said 25,000 staff globally. I'm not too sure if that's correct, but anyway. He's been firing people left, right, and center since taking over Twitter. That is indeed correct. That's well done, Abhishek. That gets you another 10-pointer for this round. That's very good. Let's place Twitter. And we go to 4 across. Here's my question on 4 across. Catching up quickly with the world record egg on Instagram as the most liked picture on Instagram are 2 superstars playing another sport and likely by design replicating a tragic 2017 move by the #1 in the latter sport. Which brand's campaign is this picture? I asked you a question on the world record egg in the prelims. Now I'm asking you what's number 2 in a sense, like catching up quickly with the world record egg. On the buzzer is Rabi. Yes, Rabi.
Louis Vuitton,
And who these sports stars?
Ronaldo and Messi.
And what sport are they playing?
Chess.
And which number one's tragic 2017 move?
That's I'm not sure of.
Oh no, you missed out on the last hurdle, so you don't get your 10. No, that's a joke. You do. That is correct. That was Magnus Carlsen's 2017 move against Nakamura. It is said that, he was on the verge of a breakdown, and he, had he not played it perfectly in that moment, he would have lost his number one title. So it was a very significant move in his career from back in 2017. That's exactly what they're replicating in this advertisement for Louis Vuitton. That is absolutely perfect there, Rabi. Everything else, all the other questions that I was asking were just random chit chat, not really for points. The only thing that was for points was the identification of the brand, which you did. That gets you 10. That's very good. So 10 points there to Rabi as well. And we move on to the final one. 5 across. You see one alphabet there. There's an E that's available. Here's my question. To prevent transactions of a certain kind, this act was initiated in 1988. Since then, it has been amended twice, 2011 and 2016, to make it stricter. To check if it can be retrospectively applied, the matter was taken to the Calcutta High Court and then to the Supreme Court in August 22. However, both courts rejected its retrospective application derived from Urdu. It's a name that refers to transaction carried out in the name of someone other than the person who financed it. Please name it. On the buzzer is Abhishek.
Benami.
Is correct. That's the answer. This is indeed Benami. It's a name that refers to transaction carried out in the name of someone other than the person who has financed it. It is Benami. That's well done, Abhishek. I think you've got the answers correct on this one. Yes, you got 3 in this one. So that's a bright, solid start. That's all that we have for round 1. It is the East Zone. And since 3 of you opened your accounts, it is open for business. Everything is possible. Early days, but signs of strength and determination. And that is pleasing to see. The challenges in Udaan will come thick and fast, like our next round. It's called Challengers Team. Round 2. 1 question to each participant. First one will be to Divya, second to Rabi, and that order. 10 seconds for other participants to present your challenge when the question appears on screen. If you want to accept the challenge, you tell me that you want to accept the challenge and then give the answer. As a direct participant, you give me the answer to that question. If you're correct, I'll give you 10. If, however, you are wrong, the fact that you accepted the challenge and got it wrong, you will get a -5. So then the question goes to the challenger for +10 and -5. If they also get it wrong, it goes to somebody else on the buzzer for +5 and -5. There will be 2 other buzzers allowed out of the 6, out of the remaining 4 of you. Now, if, however, you're not too confident of the answer, you can say you'd like to reject the challenge and let the question go to the challenger. The question goes to them. If they give the answer, they get 10. If not, they get a -5. Question will come back to you as a direct participant, but this time only for 5 points. And yet again, no negatives if you are wrong. If I don't have an answer from either one of you, still goes to somebody else on the buzzer for +5 and -5. Please remember, as a direct participant, do not give me an answer in the first 10 seconds. Just take the 10 seconds to think about the question and that allow others to present a challenge. If there is no challenge, then of course you can tell me what your answer is. Now, in this round, every question has 2 parts. If you're presenting a challenge, or if you're accepting a challenge, or even if you're just giving me an answer, irrespective of whether you're the challenger or you're the direct participant or you're somebody on the buzzer, I need all parts of the answer. You won't get part points in this. So if you're attempting, you might as well give me everything. Otherwise, you're only giving a hint, with one of the answers that you're giving to somebody else who follows after you in the order of giving answers. All right, so don't do that. Avoid that because I will not be giving you part points. I will only give points if you give me complete answers. Okay, so we'll start. The first one will be for Divya. I have to request you to please unmute yourself. You don't have to press the buzzer, so you can keep your phone aside. Everybody else is on the buzzer. You can get your buzzers for second question onwards, but right now you don't need to hit the buzzer. The other 5 of you are on the buzzer. One very important thing in general, unless I specify the number of letters in the length of the blank that I've drawn, please assume that it is, if it matches with the actual answer, it is by accident, not by design. So unless I want to specifically give the number of letters in the answer, if I want to do that, I will give you the number of letters like I did in crossword, but I will not do it otherwise. If I do it, then it's by design. Otherwise, just by accident, that the number of letters and all of that. All right, so we'll start. Here's your first question, Divya, if you're ready. 2 parts. In 2001, this person published a paper, Building Better Global Economic blank, proposing enlarging the G7 to include blank. All these blanks are same. Couple of years later, his colleagues published Dreaming Blank, The Path to 2050, which spoke of startling results as they predicted blank could be bigger than G6 in less than 40 years. While its latest entrant joined in 2010, the original plural acronym continues, albeit in singular form. Fill in the blanks, and who's the latest entrant? Divya, there is Rabi, who's already presenting a challenge. So what would you like to do? Divya?
Yeah, I'd like to.
You let Rabi answer?
Yeah, I'll let Rabi answer.
So you're rejecting the challenge, you let Rabi answer. All right. Rabi, can I have both your answers, please? All these blanks are the same.
So first one is BRICS.
Okay.
So
And who's the latest entrant? Can't give you so much time, Rabi. You need to give me an answer.
South Africa. And
Your 2 answers are, can you repeat?
BRICS and South Africa.
All right. My question was building better global economic blank, and who's the latest entrant? The answer you said was BRICS and South Africa. I wonder why you thought about it too long when I anyway said the acronym still holds, even with the latest entrant. So even with South Africa coming in, the BRICS is still retained, although instead of a plural form earlier, it's now a singular form. Right, so that's the answer. He is the person you saw in the visual was Jim O'Neill, who originally wrote this paper and coined the term BRICS, although without the S. You know, the S was there, but in a plural form, not in the sense of South Africa. And then when South Africa joined in, it sort of beautifully fit in and nothing needed to be changed. That is correct. That's well done. Rabi gets you 10 and nothing to Divya because she let it go. So 10 points to Rabi. And what's more, Rabi, you get a direct question now. If you can please unmute everybody else.
I am.
Here's my question. When a certain geopolitical action was initiated, various countries vowed to take action. However, a few months hence, and as this New York Times chart shows, severing decade-old ties isn't easy. Thus, funding what action? So some action is red. And which country, in black, right at the bottom, has seen a 310% change in trade volume, the most amongst all countries that NYT sort of used for this chart. And they used significant countries. Sorry, significant in the sense of their geopolitical relevance. With due respect to all 195 of them. There's a challenge coming from Abhishek.
Yeah,
what do you want to do, Abhi?
So you have 2 parts. The first part is
funding what action? And second, which country seen the highest trade volume change?
And if I accept the challenge, if I get it negative, then how much negative I get? 5.
-5.
Okay.
Quick, take a decision, Rabi.
Yeah, I'm accepting the challenge.
All right, so you will give me an answer for +10, -5, Rabi. What's your answer?
So I will say, okay, this is thus funding the action trade. The first blank is Russia.
Okay.
And the second one is trade volume, okay, 300% change is Ukraine.
Okay, that is incorrect, Rabi. That's a -5. Question goes to Abhishek.
The first blank is basically how Russia pays for war, and the second country that has shown the most change is India.
Is correct. That's the answer that I was looking for. This is India, who's seen 3x the trade volume since the start of the war. So, when they virtue signal about, their anti-Russia sentiments, you should sort of keep them at one arm's distance, because this is exactly what's happening. So we should better be aware of the kind of situation that we're living in, the kind of information that is put out, and how we should keep ourselves aware. That is absolutely perfect there, Abhishek. This is how Russia funds the war, and its biggest trade partner, not the biggest trade partner, but a trade partner which has seen significant increase is India with 300%. That's well done, Abhishek. Very good answer. Gets you 10. And Ravi, unfortunately, that's a -5. I needed both parts. You got one part correct, but that doesn't get you the points. So -5 there, Ravi, +10 to Abhishek. We'll move on to the next question that will also be for Abhishek. Abhishek, if you can please unmute.
Yes.
Right, I'll show you a visual first. You take a look at the visual, then the question follows. The two visuals. All right, here's my question. On your right is from a 2018 presentation made by Swiggy at a startup community event after the launch of SW blank blank. So this is a 4 and 3 letter blank, which I've specified. And that is the person on the left. From idea to inception in 100 days. In order for them to execute their plans, Swiggy has a prioritization structure of 4 BBs. Big bet, initiative for every quarter, bread and butter, smaller tasks, brilliant basics lasting a year, and the final BB, which was hidden in the visual, cooking something outside the scope of Swiggy. What are X and Y, whose names are both inspired by pop cultural entities? You have a challenge coming from Sampad.
I reject the challenge. I would like the Sampad answer.
And Sampad will answer. Sampad?
Is it Swiggy 1?
Okay, and the other part?
The final BBY cooking something outside the scope of Swiggy.
I need an answer, Sampad. Can't give you so much time.
Why is different? Huh? Why instead of purpose?
Of course, that's why. Come on, you know this. It's obviously different. That's why it's presented separately.
No.
What is BB? Okay, no answer, Sampad. Too much time. I'll have to give you a -5 there. Question goes back to Abhishek. Abhishek, you want to take a guess? No, negative, +5 if you're correct. And there is somebody else on the buzzer, so you don't need to give half answer. You can let it go, because no points for half answers.
No,
You will
pass.
All right. So I'll move on to the next one on the buzzer, and that is Anand. Yes, Anand.
Just taking a guess. It's Swiggy 1 and BB. I referred to maybe Big Basket and Swiggy going into Instacart thing.
Is
So I'm
incorrect,
guessing BB.
Anand. Anand, that's incorrect. I'll have to stop you there. That's a -5. Question passes to the final one, and that's to Rabi.
Ajay, taking a guess from the Iggy Pop, I will say Swiggy Pop.
Okay, and what's the BB?
BB, how many letters you said?
I didn't say anything for BB. I only said for X.
BB1.
BB1?
I'm saying Big Basket 1.
Oh, Big Basket. All right. All right. That's incorrect, Rabi. It's a -5. So that's a -5, Rabi, -5, Anand, -5, Sampad. 3 of you getting a negative. That was a tricky one, but clearly not when you take a look at the answer. Rabi got one part correct finally, because I said the first one was inspired by pop cultural entities, and I also gave you that person that was the punk star Iggy Pop, from which you get Swiggy Pop, and the pop cultural entity being Breaking Bad, right? So because the clue there was cooking something outside the scope of Swiggy. So both pop cultural entities. So that was Iggy Pop gives you Swiggy Pop and Breaking Bad, right? So -5, 3 of you. I'm really sorry for that one. I thought this would be a gettable one, but clearly not. We'll move on to the next one. To number 4, and that is to Sampad. Sampad, I'll also have to request you to, if you can lower your camera a little. There's too much space above your head. You're not really sitting in an attention position as you originally tested with us. Okay, much better now. All right, Sampad, here is my question for you, everybody else on the buzzer. Look at the visuals. All right, here's my question. While we're familiar with the tasty sounding donut and pie chart in data representation, this type of pie chart that you see on the right was first seen in 1990s, specifically for certain economic projections to communicate uncertainty by which British organization that you see on the left that was established in 17th century. Even its Indian counterpart began using the same chart type for improved presentation after a 2011 working paper. And that's the chart that I've lifted it from the 2011 working paper. After that, the Indian counterpart has started using it often. Owing to its shape, what is such a chart called? Two-part question. Tell me the British organization. And two, what is this chart type called? Established in 17th century. Time's up. Nobody presenting a challenge. Sampad, you can give me an answer. No negatives. 10 points if you're right.
It's the like Indian counterpart RBI, and that
I'm
has-
looking for the British organization and the chart, not the Indian organization.
Okay, and the British organization, maybe the Exchequer of Britain.
Okay, and the chart type would be
Chart type will be heartbeat chart.
heartbeat chart. No, that's not correct. The answer that I was looking for, nobody interested on the buzzer. This is you got the Indian counterpart, right? So this is RBI's British counterpart, which is the Bank of England, and this is called the fan chart. And because it opens up like a fan, and you can better project economic indicators of future like inflation and others. So this is called a fan chart, and that's the Bank of England. No points there to anyone. We'll move on to the next one. That's number 5 to Deepak from India. You can please unmute. Here's my question for you. Others on the buzzer. This is a Manchester memorial dedicated to someone who was convicted of gross indecency, but was posthumously pardoned. The bronze cast below his name, behind his back, that I'll tell you what it says. It says IEKYF and all this. It essentially means founder of computer science. My two-part question is, one, who's this person? And two, how do we know that this IEKYF means founder of computer science? There is a challenge coming from Abhishek.
I'll accept it. I'll give the answer.
You'll give the answer? Go for it.
That's Alan Turing.
And
it is the code for breaking that German signal. That's the code which was used by Germans, which he uncoded.
Do you have a name?
Some. Can't remember the exact name, but
So beautifully, there's like a wall clock playing that timer in his background as well. But I'll give that to you. That's fine. You've done most of the hard work for this one. It's called the Enigma code, right? So this was indeed Alan Turing, and all this code that was there. It reads as founder of computer science. If you decode it using the Enigma code, exactly what Alan Turing broke, right? So a meta-ness in the way they created this. So that's a lovely answer there. Very well done. Deepak, that gets you 10 points on the direct. Very well done on accepting the challenge. It's a really nice answer. Right, final question to Anand. Anand, here's my question for you. With which business lady turned quasi-political figure would you connect these business ventures? That's one part. And since 2009, who is her husband? There is a challenge coming from Rabi. Anand, take a decision.
I'll reject the challenge.
Which means you let Rabi answer?
Yeah, correct.
Right, Rabi, go for it.
So this is Akshata Murthy, who is Naran Murthy's daughter, and Rishi Shaunak is the husband.
is perfect. That's the answer that I was looking for. Absolutely. This is Akshata Narayan Murthy and her husband being Rishi Sunak. Soroko, the digital transformation company by Rohan, her brother. And the one in the middle was Digme Fitness, which is now bankrupt, dead. And of course, that's Catamaran Ventures, the new logo of Catamaran Ventures. They had an earlier one, which looked a lot like Catamaran, but anyway. So this is Akshata Narayan Murthy and Rishi Sunak. Well done there, Rabi, gets you 10 points, brings us to the end of the second round, 2 rounds in. And the East Zone final is an intriguing competition, to say the least. And it's shaping up to be a feast for us neutrals. There's some feast for the audience too. Our first of 3 questions. So let me ask you, audience, here's my question for you. In 1987, a German ice hockey club, ECD Eiserhorn, was staring at bankruptcy. In order to keep their team afloat, they struck a deal with whom for a $900,000 US sponsorship in exchange for promoting his collection of political philosophies on their jersey. But soon after, due to backlash, they had to bring an end to the partnership. So who did they strike a deal with for $900,000 in exchange for promoting his collection of political philosophies on their jerseys? This is a German ice hockey club back in the 1980s. Audience, you know the drill. You have to go to Twitter, follow NHRDN, and use the hashtag on the very same question when it's posted, hashtag Udaan 2022, and give your answer. The fastest one with the correct answer wins a prize. I'll give you some time to do that. I'll give you about 5-10 seconds. Right then, I hope you've sent in your answers on that very same tweet. So we're all set after 2 rounds, taking a look at the scoreboard halfway into this quiz. And this is how the East Zone final is shaping up. Right, at this point, we have Abhishek, who's currently leading with a score of 40 points. He had a strong, solid start in round 1, and that has helped him carry forward to the lead, interim lead at 40. Then in second place right now is 2-time defending champion Rabi with a score of 20. Then we have Deepak at 10, Sampad at 5, Divya yet to open her account, and Anand, who's currently on -5. So those are the scores at this point, heading into the third round. It's a quiz that we crave when it's come away. For now, it is split wide open. They are giving it their all. The second half will offer some respite as now they work in pairs. This round is called paired impaired. Each participant will be getting a question. You'll have 15 seconds of time per question, but you're not alone. Alongside you, I will pair you up with one of the competitors in the order of scores. So our first pair will be the pair of Abhishek and Rabi. Then our second pair will be the pair of Deepak and Sampad. And then our third pair will be the team of Divya and Anand. Right, what does that mean? So you're paired with each other. I'll give you a direct question to the direct participant. You give me an answer. I won't declare whether that's correct. I'll pass it to your paired participant. They will accept or reject, or they may pass if they're uncertain. If they accept the right answer, you get 10 as a direct participant. The paired participant gets a 5. If, however, they accept a wrong answer, both of you get a -5. So don't accept a wrong answer. Please you're uncertain, you can pass. Both the direct as well as the paired participant, both of you can pass. But there are others on the buzzer, 2 others allowed on the buzzer, but you don't have an option of passing. On the buzzer, the question is for +5 and -5. And if the direct participant gives me a wrong answer, the paired participant, if the paired participant thinks that the direct participant's answer is wrong, you can reject it and give me a correct answer. I'll give you a tenner. However, if you're uncertain, just let it go, let it pass. Why collect negatives needlessly by rejecting it and then be like, oh, I don't know. Just let it go. You still don't get any points for rejecting it. So, right. I hope that's clear. We'll start the first one with Abhishek and Rabi. You're paired with him. So both of you don't have to hit the buzzer. You can put your phones and buzzers aside. Yeah. We'll request both of you to unmute yourselves. The other 4 participants, you're on the buzzer. There's only one part, one answer to every question. It's not a 2-part question now. So one answer to every question. Listen to that answer and you can accept or reject, or you can pass. It's totally your decision. Here's my question, Abhishek, for you. In an attempt to make various companies more user-friendly, a lawyer, Rahul Bajaj of Mission A, you can tell me what the A here is, follows a 5-step process. It begins with a letter to the company pointing out the problems, followed by a reminder after a few days. The company does not respond. MA tries to drum up support on social media. The company still remains unresponsive. MA sends a legal notice and finally approaches the Chief Commissioner for PWDs, CCPWD. My question is, either tell me what is A in Mission A or what is PWD in CCPWD. You can give me either one. That's fine. Both are related.
I would like to go. I will like to go with PWD. PWD is persons with disabilities.
All right. I'll pass the question to Rabi. Do you accept, reject?
I pass. I pass.
You pass. You're not interested in that one. There's nobody else on the buzzer. I'll tell you what the answer is. He said persons with disabilities. That was indeed correct. So that's a tenner for Abhishek. And the fact that Rabi let it go means that he does not get anything from this. It's a good answer, Abhishek. It is persons with disabilities. And the A in Mission A was mission accessible. So more or less sort of connected terms. So you could have given me either, you picked PWDs. Right, so that's the answer. Well done. Abhishek gets a 10. We'll move on to the next question. That will now be a direct to Rabi. And Abhishek, you're paired with him. So listen to his answer and decide accordingly. Rabi, your question.
Okay.
Whose widely public and likely the biggest ever retirement package included the use of a company Boeing, an apartment in Donald Trump's One Central Park West, deals at the restaurant Jean Georges, courtside deals at New York Knicks games, box seats at the Metropolitan Opera, and monthly dues at the 4 golf clubs where he played. Rabi, I need an answer. Time's running out.
I pass.
You'll pass. You'll pass to Abhishek. Abhishek, do you have an answer of your own? +10, -5? Okay. Too much time, Abhishek. I'll close it. I'll pass it to Anand, who's on the buzzer.
I will just take a guess. Is it the Disney's Bob Iger?
Is incorrect. I'm afraid, Anand, not the one with likely the biggest ever retirement package. It's somebody that goes, so that's a -5 there, Anand. The answer to this one is Jack Welch of GE. So he was the one when he retired as CEO in 2001. He collected a severance payment worth $400 million. And by far, this was the largest severance package paid to any American CEO in the last decade. While the company was, going through crisis in the recent past, it was also proposed that both Jack and his successor, Jeff Immelt, should actually pay back the severance package that they got thanks to the legacy of allegedly systemic weaknesses that were left by them. So this was Jack Welch of GE. That's a -5, Anand. Nothing to Abhishek, nothing to Rabi. We'll move on to our next pair, and that is Sampad and Deepak. First, we'll play with Deepak, then we go to Sampad. So Deepak, this is your direct. Sampad, listen to his answer and decide accordingly. Seen on products that have passed through a certain process for extending their shelf life, These markings come in majorly two variants. American is darker green and international is lighter green. That's it. That's the variants. These markings have a portmanteau name derived from the process and the Latin word for hard. You can either tell me what process or you can tell me what are these markings called. Used for extending shelf life. Coming in two variants of green. Deepak?
I'll pass.
Passing. Sampad, anything plus 10 minus 5?
No, I'll pass.
You'll pass. And nobody else attempting it on the buzzer. The answer that I was looking for is ionizing radiation, or the process is the process, and the marking is called radura, from the term hard for Latin and radiation, right? So this is ionizing radiation, which basically helps fruits and veggies and all that increase their shelf life in cold storage. No points to anyone on this one. Next up is going to be Sampad, and Deepak will decide accordingly whether he likes Sampad's answer or no. Here's my question, Sampad. Look at the visual. I'll read a couple of them. All their equipment and instruments are alive. I watched the storm, so beautiful yet terrific. Almost before we know it, we had left the ground, from various works of literature. Now my question, someone on Hacker News posted the source of the sample phrases that are used for which service by Google, whose logo that you see on the right. So they use certain sample phrases derived from literature for a certain service, whose logo that you see on the right. What service? By Google.
And they hack and they posted this about this.
Just name the service.
If I attempt, I may get negative, or
Yes, there is a negative for a wrong answer. Sampad, quick. Are you giving an answer?
No, I'll pass.
Not giving an answer. Deepak, can you identify what service this is? Plus 10 minus 5?
No, I'll pass.
No, I'll move it on the buzzer. And on the buzzer, we have Rabi. Yes, Rabi?
This is Google Fonts.
Is correct. That's the answer. This is indeed Google Fonts. So on Google Fonts, these are the sample phrases they use. And these phrases, they essentially use, they derive from various works of literature. It's a lovely answer there, Rabi. Well done. Gets you a plus 5. Very good answer. This is Google Fonts. Final pair is going to be Divya and Anand. We'll go to Divya first, and then we go to Anand. Divya, if you can please unmute. Others on the buzzer. All right. And Anand, if you can unmute as well. Here's my question to you, Divya. An Italian design studio has envisioned this Terra yacht costing $8 billion and have identified King Abdullah Port in Saudi Arabia as the location to build it. After what supercontinent that existed hundreds of millions of years ago is it named? After what supercontinent is this Terra yacht costing about 8 billion?
Is this Pangaea?
All right, you're attempting. Your answer is?
Pangaea?
Pangaea. Question goes to Anand. Accept, reject, pass.
I will pass.
You will pass. I'll tell you what the answer is. The answer that I was looking for is indeed Pangaea. That's the answer. That's well done there, Divya. Good answer. Opening your account gets you a plus 10 as a result. And Anand, the fact that you've passed, it means that you don't get any points from this. So that's just 10 to Divya. It's a good answer. That's the supercontinent. That's what it derives its name from. But Anand, now is your direct question. And Divya, you're paired with Anand. Listen to his answer and decide what you'd like to do. Here's my question to you, Anand. Researchers from a Russian university have identified that this new yet to be tried form of outdoor advertising would cost a lot upfront, but wouldn't be too expensive to turn a hefty profit. The idea is to use CubeSats equipped with sun reflecting sails as pixels in giant ads. And in 2019, Pepsi even spoke of it, but the idea hasn't materialized yet. My question is, what kind of space do these ads propose to use for display? where do they intend to display these giant ads? Pepsi exploded, hasn't materialized. Anand, I need an answer.
Yeah, this is kind of a space advertisement. They will go into the space and they will advertise. So Pepsi had it, they had idea and they spoke about it, but they didn't do it.
So what is your answer that I can ask to Divya?
So they will go into the space and advertise, and it will take a lot of
Divya?
cost.
Okay, don't give me an essayist answer. No, let's see what Divya has to say now. Divya, you heard his answer. Accept, reject, pass.
I'll pass.
You'll pass. All right. Divya gave an answer. Anand passed. Anand gave an answer. Divya passed. The answer is indeed space advertising. Absolutely. Also said in the question, what kind of space, do these ads propose to use for display? Kind of like like that Mexico government authority tweeting about something and then Twitter being the answer. So I kind of sort of metaing here in these questions. But anyway, that's a good answer there, Anand. That's correct. Gets you a +10. Very well identified. As it says, they intend to use CubeSats for their space advertising. So anywhere we look, we'll only find ads. So cool. Can't wait to live in a world like that. Right. So that's the end. 10 points there to Anand. 10 points before that to Divya. Brings us to the end of our third round. It is a tense, very, very tense quiz. You can feel it behind those muted devices. And with just one more round to go, the tension is building up. But for the moment, we'll let them have a sip of water and ask an audience question to the audience. All right, audience, here is my question for you. So it's a two-part question. So you have to give me two answers for this one. Two former world champion sportspersons, X and Y, have partnered to create and deliver holy ears, edibles, the shape of a ear. If I was on cannabis, I wouldn't have done this, said one of the two sportspersons, referring to the 1997 fight when he inflicted an unsportsmanlike injury on Y. My question is, who are X and Y? So tell me both the sportspersons they've got together to create holy ears, and sort of is like a wordplay on an unfortunate incident that occurred between the two of them. So which two sports persons, world champion of their sport, am I speaking of? Please send in your answers on the very same question when it's posted as a tweet, and we'll wait for it. We look forward to you collecting some audience prizes. All right, I'll give you 5 seconds, and then you can quickly come back. Right then, this is surely setting up of a high drama. We will take a look at the scores heading into our final round. This is what the scoreboard looks like. At this point, we have Abhishek, who's still leading with a score of 50, and chasing him is Rabi with a score of 25. There were some opportunities for him there.
Okay, I'm 30, I believe.
You got one answer in this round?
I got Google Fontacha, that is 5. That is not
that
10.
Was for 5.
Okay.
Yeah, that was on the buzzer. You got it. You got it for 5. Okay, so Rabi is on 25. Then we have both Divya as well as Deepak on 10, and then Sampad on 5, and finally Anand, who got a few points towards the very end, and as a result, he's back at 0. He was languishing below the x-axis when we check the scores the last time around. So it's 50, 25, 10, 10, 5, and 0. Those are the scores heading into the last round in search of our 2 qualifiers into the national final. It's great excitement. It has all the ingredients for a thrilling sprint to the finish, our final round now. Round 4 is called Triple Trouble. I will be giving you 5 questions, all of them on the buzzer. You'll have 15 seconds of time. Points, 10 points if you give me a right answer on the buzzer. That's the default score, but a -5 if you're incorrect. However, if you are absolutely confident of the answer, you can choose to step up. If you step up, I give you a 20 if you're correct, but a -10 if you're incorrect. So don't step up unless you're certain. You can step down if you want to maybe take a guess for a 50-50 answer. 5 points if you're correct, -2 only if you're incorrect. Please remember, you need to step up or step down before you give me the answer. Otherwise, it's a default score. In this round, you will not see a complete text of the question on screen. You will see some text, which basically gives you an indication of what direction you need to think in for you to give me the right answer. You won't see the entire text. I will read out the text, but it won't appear on screen. The moment you hit the buzzer, I stop reading the question, because the fact that you hit the buzzer means that you know the answer already. There's no need for me to read out the remainder. I hope that's clear. There are 5 questions coming, 100 points to be won. 3 different participants will be allowed to hit the buzzer. Good luck, everyone. Here is my first of 5 questions to you. At the COP27 last month in Egypt, the chairman of the Network for Greening the Financial System, a group of 114 central banks and financial regulators, Rabi Menon, who you see here, spoke of the problem associated with companies reporting data about their net zero commitment, referring to the fact that there is no way of comparing different types of data sets or their lack of uniformity. He said, the good news is that we have a variety of data sources, and the bad news is that what? Good news is that we have a variety of data sources, and the bad news is he was referring to the fact that there is no way of comparing different types of data sets. On the buzzer is Abhishek. Yes, Abhishek.
I would like to step down.
Step down. +5 -2. Your answer.
The good news is that we have a variety of data sources, and bad news is that we have variety of ways in which data sources are. But basically, they have multiple formats.
Okay, so
they have.
So that's the bad news.
That's the bad.
But that's the good news. The fact that they have a variety of data sources.
Okay, basically they have the variety. Basically, they have different sources of emissions, so they have different forms in which the data are reported.
So that's something that's the good news, right? Because that's what is written in the text already. Okay, don't struggle too much. That is correct, because that's also the good news. That's also the bad news. The good news is that there is a variety of data sources. The bad news is that there is a variety of data sources. So that is indeed correct. The fact that there is no uniformity in terms of how you present your data or report your data about net zero commitments means that there is no standardization. So are you really doing a good job? Who knows? There is no standardization. Nobody knows. But the fact that there are a variety of data sources, that's good. But the fact that there are a variety of data sources, that's also bad. Right? So that's what I was looking for. Well done there, Abhishek. Very well. In fact, on catching me there on what I was trying to say with this question. That's 5 points because you decided to step down, but that's 5 points. That certainly adds to your score and increases the margin of your lead ahead of others. 5 points to Abhishek, 4 questions to go. Here is number 2. This is a squeaking toy that mimics the packaging of which brand and has thus been taken to court or trademark infringement. On the buzzer is Sampad.
This is Jack Daniels. They write number 7 or something. Jack Daniels, the font and everything pointers to Jack Daniels.
I'll complete my question. And has thus been taken to court for trademark infringement and for its poop humor. Your answer is Jack Daniels. That is correct, Sampad. Absolutely. That's well done. It is indeed Jack Daniels. And I can see Sampad doing why is that, Sampad? Why is there a face palm? Can you please enlighten us?
Step up, step down.
You forgot to step up. Not so much step down, but you forgot to step up. Please keep that in mind. There is an option to quickly chase down the leaders. Gets you a tenner there, Sampad. Well done. It is indeed Jack Daniels, though. I will give you 10, but I can't give you 20 that you would have really, really liked at this point. I'll give you a 10 nevertheless. We'll move on to the next one. Here's number 3. In 2014, for one day, Coca-Cola vending machines had these Y-shaped straws called the two-way straw. To celebrate what annual occasion did they come up with this innovation? On the buzzer is Sampad again.
I'll step up.
You will step up and you will say.
This is to celebrate Valentine's Day. During that time, 2014 era, there were some celebration regarding Valentine's Day. So lovely couples can drink from the same straw. So that was the funda behind this straw.
Is the correct funda there, Sampad? That is indeed the right answer. That's a plus 20. This time he remembered to step up, gets a 20 this time to follow up with a 10 on the last one. So
Ajay, how much Sampad got? Sampad
20,
scored?
20 for a step up.
Okay.
Yeah, 20 for a step up, 10 for the previous one. 2 questions to go. On the next one, if you can't give me a very specific answer, if you're in the vicinity of it, of, you know, where exactly, or not exactly, but where-ish, that's fine. I will accept. You don't have to exactly name it, because, you know, people can coin whatever names they want for something like this, right? So there's no official designated name for this, but if you get the bare minimum basic direction, that's also all right. In the next question. Right, so here's the next one, number 4. The Hungarian government used these 2 models for family planning ads they were doing in 2019. However, because of their lack of internet savviness, on the buzzer is Sampad again.
Yeah, I'll step up again.
You will step up.
This is that meme boy girl. That boy was looking into some lady back to. She was passing by and she was beside him. This girl was beside him and all. So this is the meme that we just give whenever we just approve of another girl, and when your girlfriend is standing beside you.
All right, this is also a family quiz for Sampad, so I'll stop you right here.
I don't do that in real life.
Much, but I will complete the question. My question was, however, because of the team's lack of internet savviness, this ad became viral for the wrong reasons, but due to their appearance in what? Do we know them? You stepped up and you said a meme about a girl and a boy and all of that. That is absolutely perfect. It's called a distracted boyfriend meme. So like I said, even if you can't give me the exact specifics, if you're in the vicinity of what it's about, I will give you points. Right, so that's a good answer, Sampad. That's another 20-pointer for you. And before we move on, I'll quickly like to take a look at the scores. Can I have the scores on my device so that we can identify if, you know, there are any participants who aren't really playing for the sake of, you know, being in the top 2, we can ask them to not be a part of the final question, because essentially we're now looking for top 2 participants who qualify for the national final. The 2 of you who qualify, just give me a moment. So at this point, all right, so at this point, I will allow for only 3 participants to play the final question, and that is Rabi, Abhishek, and Sampad. I will allow only the 3 of you to play the final question, and I'll have to request the others to not hit the buzzer. You can hit the buzzer, but even if you know, if either one of Rabi, Sampad, or Abhishek hit the buzzer first, I will give them precedence over you. Right? So you can hit the buzzer. You can signal an intent that you'd like to give the answer, but I will not allow you to be the first one to give the answer. Rabi, of course, the only way the quiz can work in your favor is if either one of Abhishek or Sampad get it wrong, get a big wrong actually. They take a step up and they get it wrong. That opens up doors for you to give yourself a chance, a shot at the national final. Otherwise, Rabi, this will be all for you. But there is a tie for the lead. So because there are separate prizes for the first and the second. So, you know, Sampad and Abhishek, you can go for it and ensure that we can resolve the ties right here. Right. So I will sort of maybe manually have to reshuffle the order of participants pressing the buzzer. If I don't have a resolution of the tie, then I will do a tiebreaker question anyway between Sampad and Abhishek. However, it'll be nice if one of you can sort of step down maybe and sort of win this quiz from either one of you, or take a big one and open up the doors for Rabi. It's totally your decision. Here's my question, the final one for the East Zone round on your screen now. What word connects this imagery on the left of a blob of a toothpaste, the subject of a dispute between GSK and Colgate? A gentle touch on the buzzer is Sampad. Yes, Sampad. What word?
The step down.
Step down for +5 and -2.
I'll go for Vaseline.
Your answer is?
Vaseline.
Can you spell it for me?
Vaseline, the cream.
Oh, okay. Vaseline. All right. That's not the right answer. So that's a -2. I will continue the question if others want to take it. What word connects this imagery of a blob of toothpaste, the subject of a dispute between GSK and Colgate, a gentle touch in a vacant area to score runs in cricket, and small pellets that are the first step in the process of making any plastic thing? On the buzzer is Rabi. Yes, Rabi.
I have any choice, so I will say I will step up and I will say it's cover or pitch.
Is incorrect. That's a -10. There's a -10 there, Rabi. Sorry. It's a -10, Rabi. That's not the answer. The answer that I was looking for, a gentle touch in cricket, this blob of toothpaste, the subject of dispute between GSK and Colgate for their imagery, and these small pellets. They're all called nurdle. It's called a nurdle, just nurdling it to the fine leg or to the third man or something like that. Right, so that brings us to the end of the quiz. Some not so gentle nurdling and nudging went on in the final. Some deliberate prodding on the scores was initiated over and over again. But we'll get to that in a bit. Right now, I have one final audience question for you. And after that, we'll take a look at the final scores, the East Zone final. Right, question for the audience. Parle launched its first cola in India and called it Gluco-Cola. Coca-Cola objected on the trademark and Parle changed the name to Parle Cola. Coca-Cola was adamant and Parle dropped the product. Parle, not wanting to give up on the soft drink ambition, launched an orange flavored drink in 1952 and called it what, with kids as the target audience? So tell me the name of this orange flavored drink in 1952. Launched by Parle. That's the question for the audience. Right then, welcome back to taking a look at the final scores of the East Zone final here at the 12th Udaan Business Leadership Quiz. The East Zone has had its moment of reckoning, and we do have our two winners who've prolonged their stay at the Udaan Business Leadership Quiz, and they are in order. It's Abhishek Mishra from SAIL Rourkela, who finishes and wins this East Zone round, qualifies into the final with a score of 55, and following him with some fine answers in that last round is Sampad Mishra, also from SAIL Rourkela. Very well done. Congratulations to the both of you. All 6 of the participants impressed, but only 2 of them have progressed. And after 2 years, we have a different winner coming from the East Zone. It's been a fabulous one, a fabulous night. Nevertheless, this is it then. I hope you had your brains picked with those audience questions you gave answers to on Twitter. This was the 12th Udaan Business Leadership Quiz, organized by Steel Authority of India Limited, National HRD Network, Ranchi chapter, and National HRD Network in association with our sponsors, IILM University. With 2 winners identified for the national final, next on the roster is the West Zone final. That's tomorrow at 8 p.m. I look forward to you spending your Saturday evening with us. Until then, goodbye for now.